Welcome to the When Whit Happens podcast. This is a podcast that helps you find ways to celebrate and live your best life, even when stuff happens. Now here's your host, Whitney West.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the podcast. Today, I am all by myself, so I decided that since we're doing this whole video component and we are committed, that I was going to film in my living room so that you would not just have a plain white wall that is the situation that is currently in my office before it gets all situated. So here we are, all of my pillows all around me on my couch. So today, since I'm all by myself, I thought we'd dive into the season a little more about the season of abundance and talk about a little bit of the harder topics. We've talked to people so far who are thriving despite everything that they are going through and living a life of abundance. And we've had a little fun with Wes, but do we really talk about the things that it really takes to get to that point after we go through really hard things? And one of the things that I've realized that I'm pretty good at and always working to get better on is really self-reflection and self-evaluation. So I'm always taking into account who I am, what I want, what I need, my whys, and really paying attention to those things when it comes to my daily interactions with people and my daily actions. And a lot of the things that we accept in our lives can be from the time when we were young, things that our parents may have said, things that somebody said to us in passing that we've just accepted as what they are. And sometimes we accept them as something negative, when in actuality it's just a part of who we are. And we have to sometimes reprogram our minds to go back to that and erase the negativity from that and act in that most authentic part of ourselves. When we're children, we're not thinking about how the world views us, what people are saying. But when the people who are most important to us comment on those things, we may begin to hide them. But in reality, that is our most authentic self. And that can help guide us to living that life of abundance or getting through some of the harder things that we go through. I gave this example to the ladies in my accelerator yesterday that not anything malicious. My mom used to call me Little Red Hen because remember the story of the Little Red Hen? She used to do all the things. She was making the bread. Nobody was helping her. And when it came time, it's like, you can't get none because you was not helping like me do the things. And that is like, so me, it's like, I'm doing all these things. Who is going to help? Like, whatever. It's like, in the end, like, this is my bread. Like, you can't get this. But to me, it's like, oh, I've always been doing all the things, myself. And in a way, I don't know if that is what had an effect on me or if it's just a combination of that. I'm also a very giving person. So it could have been like, oh, maybe I don't want to seem selfish. And then just the world in general saying to share. And I have to realize that you can overgive and I can overgive. And so that I can be selective and create my own criteria of when I'm able to give to somebody, and that giving should be something that I do of my heart and not expecting anything back, so that I'm not losing anything for giving, or I'm not feeling any type of way if there is not a certain level of reciprocity. And those are things that I wasn't always good with. I would definitely overgive, overcompensate, and it didn't always work out to the best. And that is something that I'm still working on, but I'm in that point of realization that I don't have to give out. If I feel like I'm doing all the things and this is mine, I don't have to share it if it doesn't please me. And that is something that I'm getting more and more comfortable with. And it's just an evaluation of like, what good is that doing me? And if it's not doing me any good, then how is it helping me elevate my life and live in abundance, and it's not. And this comes to other things too. It's about, I don't know how long ago it was, I got to realize that I had like an issue with being right. It's like, I like being right, and don't we all? But it was to the point where I kind of was like, it needs to be seen that I'm right, or I need to prove this point. But what was the proving doing other than stressing me out? And then sometimes you realize you're trying to prove yourself to those who are not ever, I don't want to say equipped, because we're all equipped, but they have no intention to hear you out, to listen to you, to even take into consideration your correctness. So it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter the stress that you impart on yourself trying to do things right. It's just not going to be taken into consideration. And so it became to the point that I was like, well, I do what I'm supposed to do, say what I'm supposed to say, communicate what I need to communicate. And if it's not taken, that is not on me. That is on them. And I can continue to move on. And I don't even need to look back to check and see if they come to a realization, if they fall and stumble, or whatever. It doesn't matter, because I can continue to move forward into what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't have to be stuck there because I want to be sure that they know I'm right, or that they realize that they are wrong. I don't have to be stuck there. I can continue moving. And that has been something that has been really helpful for me, especially on a path of living abundance. We can get stuck in these cycles because being right is a good thing. Proving you're right, doing the right thing is a good thing. But that you've done it. That's it. That is your job. It is not then your job to make sure that other people see it, hear it, act upon it, or use it well. That is their job. And even if this is a work thing, you can only do what you can do. If everybody else chooses not to listen, document what you need to document and keep it moving to the next project, keep it moving to the next thing. You say your piece and then you keep your piece, because you do not need to stress yourself out continuing to make a point that is not heard, whether it's at work, in friendships, romantic relationships, family, or even with yourself. Because these are conversations you absolutely still need to have with yourself. If we were to think about the way that we talk to ourselves, a lot of the time, we're a lot more harsh on ourselves than the outside world is. Or we create thoughts in other people's head that we then put in ours. What will the world think? What will everybody else think? Well, if I don't say this, or if I don't do this, who gives a fuck? If it is not something that is going to elevate you or help you, I don't care if it seems selfish, it is not something that is for you. Yes, you can be of service. And if that is something that helps you and helps elevate you, then that is great. You do that. But you have to be your own number one priority. Nothing else can get done well if you are not that priority. So if things do not help you, then they are not for you. Period. Because you can't be a good family member. You can't be a good partner. You can't be good at your job. You can't be a good entrepreneur. You can't be a good parent if you are not good to yourself first. What you are doing is essentially making your loved ones and your job and the things that you want to do, they're thieving you. They're thieving you of the energy, the effort that you need to just live. You want to get to a place where you're serving from a place of abundance, from overflow. And then you're able to fully serve everyone else without taking from you. And a lot of that is self-evaluation, because if you're not honest with yourself about what you need in those areas that you need to work on, you're never going to hit that point of realization to know what it is you need to have your cup full, and then therefore to let it overflow. So thank you all. This is going to be a short episode because it's just me. But we will be back soon with guests, and then there'll be some more episodes with just me. So if you have any questions about anything that I talked about today or any topics that you want me to address, just go ahead and leave them in the comments on Instagram or on YouTube, because this video component is super real, and we will get to them. So this season is about halfway over, and we'll be wrapping up soon. And I really want to thank you all for all the love and support that we've gotten so far on the season of Abundance. And I'm saying we because obviously it started off with a lot of guest spots. We had The Mess with Whitney West, we've had Tracy, we had Mahogany, and it's just been an awesome start to this season. So go ahead, make sure you follow me on all social media. Make sure if you're not already following the YouTube channel, you do. It's The Whitney West everywhere. And I will see you all next time. Bye.
Thank you for listening to When Whit Happens. You can find Whitney living her best life at thewhitneywest.com and at The Whitney West on social media. Subscribe and follow for updates. Until next time, keep living your best life.